That is true, leaving the deposit rate facility unchanged at negative 50 basis points and the main refi rate unchanged at 0% as well. They do confirm the bond buying will continue, at least 20 billion euros a month. That's going to continue. And the QE will run until shortly before it winds up raising interest rates. And they're going to reinvest the QE debt for an extended time after the first rate hike. There's no mention, though, of the strategy review. That's interesting. That's what the market was really kind of trying to pay attention for, what the strategy review is and what the ECB looked at in terms of its long-term inflation target and stability, and if the lack of inflation is actually structural, and then how to address that. So no change with the ECB. It's going to leave rates at present or lower levels until they near that inflation goal of 2%. Bloomberg's Matt Miller joining us from outside the ECB headquarters in Frankfurt. You're looking at this in the same way that I am, sort of as the headlines come out. Anything that stood out to you that surprised you?
I do think it's interesting that they say, the last headline that you mentioned, that they'll leave rates at present or lower levels until they get near their inflation goal. Now, logically, that makes a lot of sense, of course. But what it means is this ECB under Christine Lagarde is willing to lower rates even further below the negative 50 basis points where they already are. So it could be that we see a willingness to cut rates here. We saw that, of course, under Draghi as well, but the question was and will still be, is Christine Lagarde towing the same line? Is she going to be moving forward the same policies that Mario Draghi has for the past years? As far as the strategy, we'll hear from her during the press conference what she expects from the review, what kind of methodology she's going to use, what kind of questions they're going to be asking, and what kind of results maybe they can imagine. Of course, it's going to be a long time before we get real details on that, but we want to know in which direction it's going to go, Alex.